Well, friends, this is I, host Eric, was talking with Fence people, and so much to talk about. Yesterday was a crazy, crazy, crazy day. When I lived in China, in Shanghai, expats would refer to things called China Days. China Day is when you can't get anything accomplished because China's so stupid. Well, I had the equivalent of a China Day yesterday. Everything took 10 times longer than it should. Every light I hit was red. It was ridiculous. It was insane. It's like I had 5 lighters in my backpack pocket, right? I spent the whole day patting my pockets looking for lighters and not finding them. I got into the car last night after going to a vape shop to replace this vape battery thing where they told me they don't have them. You're a vape shop. Yeah. You don't have vapes? No. What? $8. But here's the big mistake my realtor made. She comes over yesterday. We made it very clear to her. I want the thing to go fast. And I'm willing to make some compromises to make it happen, right? Like, if we have to take a little bit less money, then we have to take a little bit less money. But we'll get this thing done faster, right? So my stupid realtor comes over yesterday and informs me that she wants to buy my house. Hey! Hi.
I'm your neighbor behind you.
Uh-huh.
I've been here for 40 years.
Uh-huh.
And never have you left the light on in the back of the garage, ever. And now it's been on the last 2 or 3 days.
Okay, I'll turn it off. The realtor leaves it on.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I just figured something like that, somebody didn't know it was on, so
Yeah.
you know, it's just shining.
And we will be out of here as soon as...
So you have passed or what?
Yeah, both my parents died.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad in August, my mom just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but my mom was a relief because she suffered from a very long debilitating
I
illness.
remember your dad telling me about that. She was in the facility when he was doing fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I was trying to...
No, that's okay. I figured you weren't here, that's why it was on. And
Yeah, I can understand it would bug you too, for sure.
Well, not only at night.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll definitely turn that off. Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
That was weird. I've never met that guy before. This is right behind me. I've never met that guy. Well, yeah, they can. She can do that, right? Here's the problem. Now she's giving me ammunition. So she comes over and says, Oh, this house is going to be really hard to sell because there was a suicide here and Chinese people don't want to buy that. But if that's your preference to trying to get me to sell it to you under market value, it's a clear conflict of interest. And the idea that you can sell my house, get a commission to herself as a buyer is insane. So, after sleeping on it and thinking about it, since we talked about it, I realized, oh my God, this woman is in so much trouble now because I'm hopeful. Because I got a text from her last night saying, I have to rethink my verbal offer to you, Eric. Good night, thank you. She sent me a text message creating a paper trail. He just didn't want the light on in the back. I don't blame him for that at all. I never turned that light on. My dad never turned that light on. Just a realtor leaves it on. She thinks it's going to prevent people from stealing stuff or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm hopeful that she sent me that text as a part of a negotiating ploy and say, I can't offer that much. I have to offer less. And then she's fucking. Actually, Dallas, in California anyway, it's required disclosure if a death was on the property within 3 years. And if you don't disclose it, they can sue you. But regardless, well, Tennessee probably doesn't have that requirement. But, I'm hoping that text was a negotiating ploy. And she's going to come back and lowball me further. Because as far as she knows right now, I like her offer and I'm thinking about it. And I might very well take it. Oh yeah, East Coast is way better about real estate than West Coast. You don't even need to have escrow. In New York, there's no escrow. You just get two lawyers together and make the deal. California is kind of weird. But, if she does that, if she comes back and says, I can't offer that much, I can only offer this much. Oh my God. I'm just going to play it all sweet and calm until I let her just dig herself into a pit so deep, right? And then I'm going to crush her. Now I'm going to get full asking price for this. Or she's going to be miserable for the rest of her life. That woman is now going to sell this house at my listing price. I'm going to do everything in my possible to make sure she pulls on my dad. Yeah, we're at the bottom end of the market. A house just down the street from ours, which I liked better than this house, but has the same number of baths and bedrooms, listed for 1.15 and sold for 1.2. Just a month ago. So, and because I want to get out of here quick, I said, listed at 1.15, but we'll take somewhere between 1.1 and 1.5 if it gets us out of here when I want to get out of here. She thought she was going to use this information to fuck me. People mistake me for somebody they can fuck with because I'm so goofy and happy and shit most of the time, right? And not caring and like being silly and stuff. What an idiot. Oh, I love things like this. Because, of course, the key component is if she's having trouble selling the house and saying this is why it's taking a long time, she retains credibility. If she comes in before it's even listed, tells me, oh, but I'll buy it for $1,070,000, which means after my commission, you'll clear $1 million. Oh, you're gonna get a commission too, huh? You're gonna sell my house to yourself for under market value and get a commission. That is delightful. Oh my goodness. I'm just loving the hole you're digging yourself into. ESTJs are extremely effective, right? But I'm right, and that's way more powerful. That's way more powerful if you fuck up. Well, she's only ever seen the goofy, childish side of me. I love taking people who've tried to fuck with Eric and making them wake up and realize, oh, what did I do? Oh, I've got all the words I need. And any words she's going to say are only going to dig her into a deeper hole because she's an ESTJ. Boy, she made a big, big mistake. Which makes me very happy. Very, very happy. So I also, you know who else is fucking with me? Remarkably, I can't believe they're still fucking with me. Is the CVS. My doctor called my prescription yesterday. But it's not time for me to pick it up yet. I have to wait until 48 hours before a month has passed since I last got it. It's a controlled substance, right? But I call it in early because I want them to send me the text they always send me. Galois are horrible. The text they always send me which says your prescription has been called in. You can pick it up on January 2nd. Or it'll say something like that, you know. Like it's too early to pick it up now. They didn't send me that text yesterday. Yeah, we signed a listing agreement with her, but that works in my favor too. Because after all, the agreement is to list and sell this house at 1.15. And she's trying to buy it before she lists it at 1.07. No, lady. No. I'm glad I signed the listing agreement because it works both ways, right? I can't list with anybody else but she has to listen to me. And now that she's fucked with me, okay, maybe this deal up there falls through. We don't get that house. I stay here for a year and call her every fucking day, shaming and mocking her until she sells this fucking house, which is her job. Believe me, that listing agreement is only trapping her, not me. She's so fucked now. Oh my god, she's so fucked. This is the garage. I'm at my house, but it's full of staged furniture, and I don't want to make a mess inside, and I can't even sit in the back house because it's all full of staged furniture, and I can't pull bomb rips inside, so I'm sitting out in the garage. This is the back of the original air conditioner that goes into the back house that has hence been replaced by one of those nice Mitsubishi ones that goes up on the top, but they both still work. How was my visit with Corey and Liz yesterday? A mixed bag. A mixed bag. I had kind of had my mind blown by Liz. Well, you know, Liz was abused as a kid and had BPD, and she's displayed growth that I didn't think she was capable of, and kind of shaken some paradigms I had about the impossibility of repairing trust issues caused by child abuse. When the family's hurting, some horrible shit went down for them this year too. Liz's brother killed himself. I didn't even know about it until yesterday. Corey's sister's dying. A lot of death this year. A lot of death. I knew about Pele. I knew about Barbara. I didn't know about Barbara Walters. But I think Mike Leach might have died as well, the football coach. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ruben. I'm glad she just nearly died. The Pope, huh? Oh no! Where will we get our infallibility from? INTP is not in Delta Quadrant. INTP is in Alpha Quadrant. I have this problem, which is I do so many drugs, they don't really hardly work anymore. Yeah, well, the thing is, what I'm going to first do is explain to her her situation that she's gotten herself in. You have now made it such that you have to scramble your ass off to sell this house in my time frame. If she's talking to me about listing agreements or anything, my words are going to be, why are you still here? Run out there and sell this house now. Instead of talking to me about buying my house, I've got an idea. Do your job. Eric used ad hominems in Joyce Mang. Those weren't ad hominems, those were insults. I wasn't making an argument, I was just being insulting. People don't seem to get that about ad hominems. They're only ad hominems if you're trying to justify a conclusion with it. It's otherwise they're just insults. Yeah, Taylor's most popular video, which is, I believe, still up, is about me being a narcissist, a sociopath, a creep, or whatever, something like that. You know, it's just what happens when other people are less equipped to be right than you are. But I did finally realize why seems to me like I'm always right and nobody listens to me. I realized this last night. Because I'm correct, it means I keep telling people things they don't want to hear. And that's why they don't listen to me. Amazing, huh? I'm so clever to figure that out. I mean, you're absolutely right, Jeremiah Fix. I am terrible at keeping my mouth shut. I just reflexively, instinctively speak the truth all the time. And sometimes it comes to bite me in the ass, you know? It's like people don't want to hear the truth. But yeah, I'm the worst person in history at keeping my mouth shut. Caldwell Banker. If she keeps fucking with me and fails to satisfy me, it will soon be called Eric Banker. It's like the advantage I have is Janet could hire the best team of lawyers in the world. And from my experience, I've learned lawyers are absolutely terrified of me. I am the guy who's not a legal professional, who's lawyering them 50 feet under the ground. That's got to be a challenge for any professional, right? my delightful memories with the time this lawyer tried to call my old job and legal language us into giving his client money. Remember the email exchange went something like this. That's right. Wrote him a long email just tearing him to pieces. He wrote back, sounds like you have a problem with the legal profession. I said, oh no, sir. I love the legal profession. I have a problem with you and your scumbag ways, and you will not ever get a dime out of any of us. That's for sure. I will utterly annihilate you in court. We never heard from him again. Never heard from him again. Never heard another peep about it. Like when Candace was divorcing me, she wanted to go to a lawyer to consult about how she could get money from me. But then she showed the lawyer the video I had made, explaining why she wasn't getting shit, and the lawyer said, you don't want anything to do with this. I won't take this case. I don't want to even come anywhere near that guy. You should just give it up. A divorce lawyer told my ex-wife that. I mean, lawyers aren't very good generally, but they're smart enough to tell that I'm way better than they are. And then sent me a text message later to establish a paper trail. ESTJs, will you never learn? That's good information, Horse Mumbler. I love that. I'll keep that information in mind. I'll use that. Oh no. I'm going to use her mistake to make her pay more than the house is worth. She has two choices. I get the full listing price, or she gets crushed under my boot. I'm not going to counter with some middle thing. She gets fucked up. Now she's totally fucked. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna have to get that far in the conversation. I should be able to explain it to her pretty straightforward. You fucked up, and now I got you. If she doesn't seem to get that, well, you know, I love going places and yelling at people. I just absolutely love it. And I yell at them in the most highfalutin language imaginable. I mean, if I don't get my way now, everybody at the Caldwell Banker is gonna, Eric's here, get off! Yeah, that's what people get for being idiots. I'm not sure how this message hasn't reached the entire world yet, but I've tried to explain many times before. Don't fuck with Eric. People still trying to do it. It's crazy. It's like, once somebody's made me mad at them because they fucked up and tried to pull one over on me or some shit like that, there are only two kinds of people who aren't intimidated by me: my daughter and dead people. If you fucked up against me, unless you're my daughter, you will be terrified by the time I get what I want. I'm not greedy. I'm correct. I did tell her, listen, we want to move this house fast, so we're willing to take less money. Instead of using that information to do her job better, she used that information to try to rip me off. Big, big mistake. Used to be someone on these teams who would come in and donate like $100 each time. I can't remember her name either. It was a lady going through a divorce, I think, and enjoying wasting her husband's money. That was my read on that person. Yeah, Fall Mahat also dropped bombs around here. Right. Well, when they're doing their job right, it works great. They're trying to sell your house for as much money as they can because they're getting a commission from it. It's a percentage of the total. When they do their job wrong, they're trying to get themselves a commission for a house that they buy under market value without listing it, despite the fact that I hired her precisely to do the opposite. I didn't hire her, I chose her and signed a listing agreement. But the point is, and I will also tell her, and because she's an ESTJ, this will scare her a lot, even though it shouldn't. I'll also tell her, look, my YouTube channel has millions of views, which is true. And she's going to be like, millions of people are going to see Eric complain about me, which is a very dumb conclusion to draw, but she's an ESTJ. It's supposed to be the third. Oh yeah, she has much to fear. I'll keep that in mind too, Horse Homework. Thank you for your good information. I appreciate it. I'm wondering how you made that thing happen. What happened? Did you just like hit a time of 7 months right now, and so that's why you did it, or did you have to pay for that right now, like it's a separate thing? Why? I've never seen that happen before. Why did that just happen? This member for 7 months thing pop up. You've been wondering how to view listening as a matter of attention. It's some combo of knowing and deliberation. No, listening is deliberation. Hearing is knowledge. If you say, hey, I don't need to listen to you to hear you, You only listen to people when you're trying to determine if they're right or wrong on your preferred calculus, be it FI or TI. That's why FI and TI are listening functions, and TI is a question asking function. FI may be also a question asking function, but I'm not sure about that. I have never thought about it before right now. Ruben R., you get my attention a lot more than I express to you that you get my attention. You know, what you really don't want is my attention. You want me to be talking to or about you. I totally understand that. I'm exactly the same way. Hey, I'm right here. Why aren't you all paying attention to me? I'm probably even more like that than you. So yeah, the whole Liz and Corey and Eric and Rachel thing is really complicated. Rachel is an absolute saint, and Liz adores her. Corey certainly doesn't have a problem with her at all, or he hasn't really expressed anything to me about her, and he hasn't really talked to her very much. Because Rachel talks to Liz, which frees it, actually gives me and Corey a chance to talk about Corey and Eric things that aren't related to that. I don't know. The problem is, my attentional stack is not very good for this situation. I need to be better at both F's. I love them very much. I try hard. And I'm still disappointed in myself in the ways that I engage with them. Even though it's like there was no getting mad or anything at each other last night. I had a very protracted conversation with Liz. And it's my tool function. When people say things that are wrong, it's so difficult for me to not correct that, you know. F issues do have right and wrong answers too, but F people don't want them treated like T things. And I gotta respect that, you know. I'm so bad at keeping my mouth shut. I mean, but Liz has grown a great deal, and I'm shocked because for a long time she wasn't growing. I thought she had a growth ceiling here, and she's up here, and I don't know what to do with it, frankly, because I guess what it just boils down to is that it's not that you can never process successfully through child abuse. Liz suffered from neglect. But she's had 50 years plus of being an FI dom. She's kind of the master of processing that kind of thing. She's an INFP. So maybe I just need to amend my beliefs about that to say I think only INFPs can grow through something that awful during their formative years. It's so awful during, like, you know, there's seedlings and they're trying to grow into plants and they're being forcibly misshapen so that they won't ever be healthy plants. That's how I view it, right? I get people are adaptive and can change and grow, but I didn't think a tree that had been twisted into a misshapen form during its initial growth period could straighten out even at all. So I think only INFPs are good enough with their ideation and their emotions to overcome that. When I look at Liz, I don't see a projection. I see Liz for who she is, and I see me for who I am, as I always do. The problem is, as a consequence, I have a responsibility to do the difficult thing of keeping my mouth shut sometimes. And it's a responsibility I consistently fail to fulfill, and it's like I just want to hang out with my friends, and I don't want to the thing is, I didn't broach the subject of their relationship, you know. But once that conversation starts going, it's like, well, okay, I will keep my mouth shut. No, I want you to tell me the truth. But you clearly don't want me to tell you the truth, because every time I do, you get mad at me. But I was talking specifically about victims of child abuse as adults, and whether or not they can repair structural formative damage. My basic answer is no, but I got to observe Liz being much more self-aware than I've ever seen her last time, you know, better than she was. I've seen her before, you know. I haven't seen her in a year, right? And she's grown a shit ton. I still believe in the mechanical explanation that doing damage emotionally to little children is the same as doing damage physically to little children. If you cut off somebody's arm when they're 4 years old, they never grow it back. if you destroy a child's ability to trust those whom they should be most able to trust by betraying it with child abuse, they should never be able to trust again. It's like I believe in that mechanics, but as Lutefe says, neural pathways can be rewired, and I think INFPs are optimally configured intentionally to work through this shit successfully. You know? That's what I think. You know, it's funny. Liz asked me last night what the letters of INFP stood for. And I couldn't remember. Rachel had to tell her. I so don't use those economies. I couldn't even remember what the letters stood for. It was the I that got me. What does I stand for? Intuition? Introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiver. And then I had to explain to her, but she's not really a perceiver. Fuck you, MBTI, for that so much. You make my life so difficult. Give anybody at least intuitive enough time, and they're gonna spell their name backwards. That's my email address, is my name backwards at gmail.com. Although I will say this, Ruben, had I been able to get it, I would have just gotten Eric Strauss at gmail.com. Unfortunately, it was taken. So instead of getting Eric Strauss 1 or something, which I hate, I just did it backwards. ssuartscire at gmail.com. The bottom line is, perceivers are people with a perceiving function first. Judgers are people with a judging function first. All the introverted perceivers are actually judgers, and all the introverted judges are actually perceivers in the MBTI terms. MBTI decided to define people by their first extroverted function because it's a workplace thing. Okay, well, that's TE for you. Let's be wrong because it's more efficient. Let's be wrong because it's more efficient. It's a great summation of TE. Right, but that's backwards, Winston's mom. Judgers are people with a judging function first. Perceivers are people with a perceiving function first. Now, you then start there with that basic observational facts and find out if, in fact, it works out like that. What you'll discover is the IPs act like judges, according to that general description, and the IJs act like perceivers. Attentionally, I mean, pay attention in those fashions, you know. How many things to think about? I didn't get much sleep. I haven't been sleeping. I've been failing to get high on drugs. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how difficult it is for me to get loaded. I ate half an ounce of mushrooms yesterday. I scolded the mushrooms in the middle of the trip. What's with this baby tripping shit? And I smoked at least half a gram of DMT last night. Good DMT that was knocking other people to the floor. Not Eric. What the fuck's going on? Why can't I get loaded? No, I can't do that waiting thing, Winston's mom. I don't like to wait. That's my problem. I don't like to wait at all. I really don't like to wait. We went to the tea leaf the other day to get matcha tea so that we could better choke down the mushrooms, which has always tasted awful. And there was this Karen in front of me in line. She had come back with a receipt and some complaint about her previous order being wrong in some way, and was very slowly, no, I was just like, oh my god. I had to just go outside and smoke a cigarette. I just couldn't even stand behind her. It's like, I'm trying to get through this horrible experience of being anywhere in Los Angeles trying to do something, especially this time of year, especially near Pasadena, as quickly as possible. And this person is being so slow and such an impediment to it should be a quick and straightforward process. I want this drink. Here's the money. Man, that's it. And so this lady's here to discuss her order from this morning or whatever with a receipt, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And this was yesterday. Yesterday was like that all day long about everything. I could never find my glasses when I needed them. I could never find a lighter when I needed one. I lost my keys after I got in the car from when I walked out of the vape shop that I went to that inexplicably didn't sell vapes. So I had to dig around for my keys, which I didn't end up finding. I ended up getting my spare keys to drive to a different vape shop that did have what I was looking for. My phone took me this strange, convoluted way that took me 4 times as long to get there as if I just gone like this. And I have no idea what was going on yesterday. It was just, well, as I described it yesterday, it was the least cooperative day in history. I walked, it's like 8:45 p.m. I walked down to this Chevron station to get cigarettes, which is close to their house. It's just like 1 block. Inexplicably, they're on a 30-minute break. Sorry for any inconvenience. What? On my way back from the vape shop, which I had to go to because, of course, what's broken when I get there? That's the thing we need, that you push the button and it makes the things go, right? Of course, nobody else is in any condition to solve this problem, except potentially Rachel, but she doesn't even drive. And I'm trying to solve this problem. And Corey's like, but, this is, I don't know what we're going to do. Give it to me, and I will go solve the problem right now. I will get another one of those things. It took me forever to get that man to give me the thing so I could take it to show them and say, I want to buy a new one of these things. Forever. Oh my God, it was the most ridiculous day in history. I agree with you about it. You should basically just say I'm T-I-N-E. I should say I'm N-E-T-I. That's all. That's how we should name it. But people are so search locked in to MBTI terms that if you want to have a little bit of caring about TE at all, then, or SC, I guess, impacts, then you're better off including MBTI terms in the title. And before you know it, it's like you're so used to using them that you just use them. I also agree it helps to juggle. It's important to juggle multiple addictions. This isn't working, I gotta switch them. Yeah. The problem is I've had to give up a lot of drugs, so I only have a few ones that I like that I can get. I did learn that I don't have to go to the dispensary in Oakland to get dispensary mushrooms. There's a place around here that sells them. I had no idea. Crazy. It's a lot more convenient. The place more convenient is my Connect lives on drug dealer time. See you in 15 minutes. 15 minutes could mean 45 minutes, could mean an hour. always makes me think of Who Reads song. I'm waiting for my man. $24 in my hand. He's never early. He's always late. First thing you learn is that you always gotta wait. It's kind of chilly out here. This will probably be a pretty short stream. I would expect to wrap it up in the next 30 minutes at the latest, longest. And the reason is, Rachel and I are currently staying in this pretty ghetto, super cheap hotel in Baldwin Park. It's fine. I left Rachel there sleeping, and we didn't go to bed till like 5 in the morning. But I imagine she still won't. She'll still get up sometime around noon or 1 probably. Well, at a certain point, though, Horse Mumbler, I think you're saying we shouldn't call that a cat. We should call it a feline domesticus or something like that. Everybody just calls it a cat. Is the problem with that? Even if, or like, let's say, that's not a prairie dog. That's no kind of dog at all. Well, you're right, but that's what everybody calls it. $11:50 a.m. Almost noon. I mean, the thing is, we can't forget that unity and cognitive functions are first and foremost unity and cognitive functions. I think what you're saying is these failed intermediaries between the idea and the correct resolution of the idea that's occurred here. We shouldn't carry bad artifacts from bad ideas into a current reality. And I agree with you. But I guess because your TE is an absolute value and mine's an instrumental value, maybe. I just think I see it as trying to solve a problem that I don't want to have to solve. You know? Why are odds absolute values and evens instrumental values? Well, I mean, there's no particular reason why the odds. I guess it's because, I mean, we remember that the cognitive function stack is a representation of our actual attentional person. And so our actual attentional person has two primary conscious absolute values. We call the most primary conscious absolute value first slot. We call the second most conscious primary absolute value third slot. That's why odds and evens. We call the most valued unconscious fifth slot, and we call the most valued the most unconscious valued function seventh slot. So that's why. Different cats are very different, but our two cats are so different from each other. They've got such different personalities. It's crazy. Well, because that's how we've chosen to arrange it. But the arrangement is basically arbitrary. You could arrange it differently, express the exact same concept, and still be right. Our cats are fantastic. I haven't seen them since I've gotten back here this morning, but I was here like 4 in the morning. I saw them then. Because, of course, what did I leave here? So we couldn't go right to the hotel. My phone charger. Also, Rachel lost the brick to her phone charger. It was such that kind of day. It was one of those days where you just go, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Well, it can't be the case without remodeling to match the arrangement, right? You could do that in theory, but there's no reason to. The current arrangement is fine. So I could say, look, I'm going to talk about my cognitive functions in terms of my absolute values first, and then in terms of my instrumental values. Therefore, my first function, my most absolute value, is NE. My second function, my second most absolute value, is FE. My third function, we could arrange it like that, and if explained that way, it would still be right. But the current arrangement is what it is, a good arrangement. It does seem to indicate, and this is probably what you're intuiting at, is that there's a necessity in terms of order of priority that they alternate introverted, extroverted. And that's probably true on some level, but not very useful information. Do ENTPs lose stuff all the time? I lose stuff constantly. I lose it temporarily, usually. At some point I find it. Sometimes I lose things for long periods of time, but usually it'll turn up. I don't even have an ashtray. Do you think this personality tip could ever be real science? I mean, real science is a funny term. Makes me think of that song Weird Science from the 80s. I mean, look, if you want science to comprise things that can be repeatable, like in other words, I know this causes this because when I put these two chemical agents together, foam comes up or something, right? You can make the claims about it, you can repeat the experiment over and over again and always get the same results. And that's great for that kind of thing. Open system, adapting, learning, evolving human beings, not evolving like from apes, but you know what I mean. Evolving human beings are not that kind of thing. Personality type, probably without a clear empirical linkage, that's going to be difficult to make because you need solidity on this end before you can get solidity on that end. There's kind of no way to get on that ride, you know, because the solidity you get on this end, the most solidity you could possibly get would be to have me typing them, and that's not still 100%. Well, because most people don't talk about it intelligently at all. If you talk about it intelligently, it doesn't sound like pseudoscience. It sounds like the correct explanation for a lot of different questions that have plagued mankind for its entire existence. But in order for it to not sound like pseudoscience, you have to talk about it intelligently. And the vast majority of people talking about it are not talking about it intelligently. It will remain a secret, Alec T, because my revelation last night, the reason people don't want to listen to me, or don't listen to me, is because I'm correct, which means I'm correcting them a lot. Most importantly, this is what it all boils down to, people don't listen to me because I'm telling them things they don't want to hear. That was like, oh, I get it. I get it now. Of course you don't listen to me. I'm not telling you what you want to hear. Not any of you particularly, or anybody in particular, but the world, you know? It's quite an eye-opening revelation. After all, I don't listen to things I don't want to hear. It's actually not true at all, but it's not true at all. I don't listen to things that I don't want to listen to, right? I unfortunately listen to everything, even things I don't want to hear. Anyhow, I got one of my trousers. Alex has a turtle and Tina is her name. Tina. Alex has a turtle and Tina is her name. Tina. Tina. Well, I guess I best be going. It's noon. Rachel's phone may be dead, so I want to make sure she's not both there and unable to contact me and awake. Tiny Gina Turtle. Alec is her dad. Tiniturtle. That is bad. Okay. It's not bad, Alec. I think it's good that your turtle's dead. But that didn't rhyme. So, unfortunately, I went with the rhyme rather than the truth in that instance. But to innovate, not every single thing one does needs to be innovative. Anyway, I gotta blow this digress in. My phone just delivered a text.